If I got my admin access, what can they do with it?
They can do anything. They own you. They can remotely connect to your systems and do lots of crazy things. And that's exactly what happens in like major hacks. I think the most popular was an attack on a casino in Las Vegas where that's exactly what happened. Somebody provided the admin credentials to an attacker, and then attacker just used it to deploy ransomware. So they stole data and then they deployed ransomware and they demand ransom for that. But it's just one example, and it's a bit more sophisticated. But if you think about mass scale attacks, any information can be leveraged for anything, as long as I can use that information to send you an email that seems credible, to which you would respond with any additional information. And sometimes you just need to explore enough of entry points. So you know the organizational structure of the company, you know the vendors, you know the locations. You keep accumulating that information, then you can use that to do a particular attack on somebody. Like you call the CFO of the company and you provide so much details that guy or a lady wouldn't even think that it's not a legitimate request. One of the popular ways to steal money was, and still is, to send you an invoice with incorrect bank details. So you get an invoice from your vendor, the amount matches what you're supposed to pay. And then you have some bank information, some bank in Hong Kong, and it's your invoice, you pay it, and then money's gone. And to do that, it's relatively easy because a lot of companies, when they process invoices, the people processing invoices will be somebody in finance. They don't really know a lot of details. They receive something that looks legitimate, and they just act on it, especially if the amounts are small. There's a common misconception that cyber criminals are going after huge wins. They're trying to get millions or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it's not true. Average ransom payment is as low as like $2,000, maybe even less, because most of the victims of ransomware attacks are small businesses. You just don't hear about it because it's not interesting. Media is not covering it. Media wants to talk about millions of dollars paid by a major bank or healthcare provider, but in reality, there are so many little tiny attacks happening, and they're happening at scale because, again, you have AI, you have automation scripts, you have a template that you can apply to anybody. And my favorite example here would be, we have a partner in Greece, and Greece is a relatively small country. And there's just one of the MSSPs in Greece, and in 2 years, they had 1,100 ransom negotiations for small businesses. Imagine it's more than once a day. And it's one of the small MSSPs in a relatively small country, and they all deal with the SMBs. And that happens everywhere. It just, people don't usually talk about it. And a lot of people have this misconception that if something happened to them once, it will not happen again. It may happen again and again. And then another misconception is that the worst thing that can happen to you if you get ransomware, if that's even the word, is that you'll pay, you'll recover your data, and then you create a backup, and then you'll be fine. But the thing is, there is a chance that you pay and you will not get your data back because they may not be able to decrypt it. So it is a tricky situation if you get there, so it's better not to be in a state where you have to pay.